everyone, welcome to the community classroom. This is Dr. Tracey McCarthy, psychologist, attorney, and educator. And what we're going to be covering today in this new series on finding your place on the tree is we're going to look at the ancestry and family history records for freed persons in Virginia and North Carolina. And then we're going to look at some church records. And this is basically for individuals who are starting down the path of trying to create that narrative, find that narrative, and they might be a little intimidated about how to go about it. And they also might be stuck. And so we're going to look at some alternative ways because some people are just using the internet. And it really helps if you get out and actually get to your local library, and the largest local library that you can find is going to be the best. And so we're going to go over this and some really exciting information for some people who are from Virginia or they have family members. Their ancestors were in Virginia or North Carolina. So hopefully this information will be helpful. So let's carry on. Okay, and yes, I'm sure it would be a happy day for individuals in 1790 going forward if they were free persons in Virginia and North Carolina. So that's what we're going to be looking at. We're going to be looking at some records that start in 1790 and go forward from there. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so as you can see, these are the records for the 1790 and 1800 census for free African Americans of North Carolina and Virginia. And you can actually see on the right-hand side a list of the family names that included the individuals who were free persons. Now, this varied in terms of whether or not the person was originally free or they were freed through some other process, sometimes through a will, or they may have bought their freedom, or a family member may have purchased their freedom. And so when you look at these records, and these are actual books, and so this isn't off of the internet. You may be able to find some of this stuff on the internet. I'm not sure, but this is from the actual book here. And so when you look, we're going to show you what you're going to see because there's a little narrative that goes with the various names. And so let's look at that for some of you. Who knows, you might see your family's name up here. And for those of you who may not be able to see it that clearly, there are names up here from Abel to Archer to Bennett to Berry to Dempsey to Gibson, Lawrence, Powell, Thomas, Thompson, Turner, Tyler, Walker. So, you know, the names are here from practically A to Z. Okay, now up on the screen you can see two pages. These are from two sections actually. So one is the Carter family and then one is from the Cousins family. Now those of you who are from deep down south in New Orleans, Louisiana area, this name is pronounced Cousin. So you might see it pronounced that way. Okay, so what you see over here in terms of the narratives for the free persons, you can see it tells a little story, and this one starts off with Thomas Carter. It says he was born in 1647, so this is definitely past that 1800 mark. Was a 16-year-old slave in 1663, and you can see all of the information about this person, and then you can also go down further and you can get information about other family members, and you can see there's information about a person named Elizabeth, Mary, Thomas, Margaret, and Edward. And then there's a little bit of a story that goes along with Edward. And then if you go over to the cousins side over there, you can see similar information for this particular family. And so you see Mary Cousins or Mary Cousin was born perhaps around 1743. Now you have to remember that for some places, the records were just in Bibles. And so some of this information is taken from Bibles. And so the dates may not always be completely accurate, but you'll get a pretty good estimate here. Okay, and then you'll look down, you'll see it says Samuel was born perhaps 1763, bound apprentice, and that's basically an indentured servant. So there's a time limited servitude there. Was called a mulatto child of Mary Cousin when he was bound out again. And so you can see you're going to get a lot of information. But when you see that bound out, it's often, and you see apprenticeship, that's for a servitude. So that's a, sort of an indentured servant. So that's not standard enslavement. So there's a time limit to it. So that will give you some sort of idea there. And let's see, you can also go down and you can see even more information. And so again, just open up your horizons and remember to check for more than one spelling sometimes. So you'll see sometimes names will be spelled different ways, and so just be on the lookout for that and be kind of flexible about the date. So if you have a relative that you think was born in 1769 and you see 1770, don't completely dismiss it, okay? Do want to caution though, when you see mulatto, that may be an indicator that the person was an Indian. So just be on the lookout for that also. So you may see variations. You might see the person listed as a Negro, mulatto. You may see a variation, okay? So just be on the lookout for that. Okay, and then you can see here that this is for Virginia, not Virginia and North Carolina. So this is just for Virginia, and this is an index, and it's a guide to Bible records in the Library of Virginia. And so the Library of Virginia does have a lot of stuff online that you can look at, but this again is from the actual book. And so in addition to this is primarily about the Turner family, and this is partially in response to some of Dane Calloway's questions, where he's trying to research Nat Turner's background. And so this may lead to some information. This is from that time period. And so it's information about a variety of Turner families. And you can also look in Quaker church records, Moravian church records, particularly if you're in the Caribbean, and also Catholic church records, because there will be records for marriages and births and baptismal records. Okay, hopefully this information has been helpful in helping you to find your place on your tree. Remember, knowledge is power. Take care and see you soon.